we appeal that more justices be appointed for the Supreme Court of Nigeria to fill the vacuum created by retirements and death. We therefore wish to use this opportunity to salute both the executive and the legislature, especially the AGF, for hearkening to the voice of Nigerians. We are making this commendation because we are aware that the salaries of judicial officers had been addressed, while the Supreme Court, as well as other courts, are appearing to be better off in the number of justices and judges on the bench. It is for this reason, sir, that we have requested the Honorable AGF to speak on aftermath of the Supreme Court judgment on local government financial autonomy. What next? What next? Nigerians want to know the next line of action. We all recall that not too long ago, the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation took a bold step of taking the bull by the horn to address one of the greatest problems confronting the general development of this country at the grassroots level. He initiated an action at the Supreme Court, which today has partly led to the removal of local government allocation from the state authorities to the real owners at the local government level. We congratulate the AGF and the rural dwellers on the outcome of the judgment of the Supreme Court, as we believe that at the end, the result will be beneficial and return development to the third tier of government in this country. Also, at the last conference, we raised the issue of dwindling financial allocation to the judiciary arm of the government, coupled with the refusal of the state government to allow financial autonomy to the judiciary at the state level.
Courts, I beg of you, in the name of God, I genuflect. And watch me, my Lord, sir, I'm actually genuflecting. Allow lawyers to argue their cases. Don't shut them out and impose humongous costs because they have refused to withdraw their cases and they have insisted on arguing such cases. It is their right. I lost 1 year in the University of Ife to read law. I lost 1 year because I was reading English. And one of the reasons was the beauty of law when I saw lawyers arguing in cause of law. Rules of court have already dealt enough with us by saying you should just make written address and written briefs, not more than so number of pages. I agree with such rules to facilitate justice. And you now go to court, they just say, adopt. You say, my Lord, I just want to emphasize. You say, no, everything you have written is on paper, adopt. Whereas the judge is not a machine, he's not a robot. He needs to be helped. And we lawyers are the ministers in the temple of justice, wherein is the prime minister. Allow a lawyer to draw your attention to certain points that he wants you to see, to address your learned mind to. You may limit him and say, don't take more than 2 or 3 minutes. Don't take more than 5 minutes. But don't just say adopt and go. That is also not good for the legal profession. Judges must eschew corruption in whatever form, by whatever name, however beautifully dressed in royal garments. No matter how you abuse lawyers, legal practitioners, the truth is that without the judiciary, without the legal profession, there can be no society. The role of the court, therefore, is very sacred. Judges are God's representatives here on earth because society has decided to make them so. And you can imagine a human being having the capacity and being in a position of authority to sentence a fellow human being to death. That means such a function is not only sacred, it is also one that should be handled in a godly manner. We also have different types of judgments, which I know my lords here and my colleagues here know better than me. But for the purpose of this lecture, we shall still quickly run through them. Declaratory judgments, a ruling or judgment that defines or clarifies the rights of the parties involved in a legal dispute. It's a binding decision that can be used to resolve disputes, but it does not require the court to order any action to be taken. It merely declares or proclaims the rights of the parties, but it does not contain any order which may be enforced against the judgment debtor. An executory judgment is enforceable immediately after it has been given. And in enforcing judgment, I have here Toko and government of Gongola State defining it as the process whereby a judgment or order of court is enforced or given effect to according to law. So the execution of judgment therefore encompasses the enforcement of the various writs provided for under the laws for giving effect to a judgment. We have money judgments. We have modalities in money judgments for modalities for enforcement of monetary judgments. This process is adopted by a judgment creditor in a court to levy execution against the property of the judgment debtor, whether movable or immovable. It should be noted that property must be within the jurisdiction of the court. Otherwise, the judgment will not be enforced there. Under the enforcement of judgment rules, it can only be issued at the expiration for monetary judgment 3 days from the date of delivery, and such judgments and the judgment creditor property can be sold after the expiration of 5 clear days. We have judgment summons. Under the judgment summons, the judgment creditor initiates the process to court for the issuance of a judgment summons and invites the debtor to court to answer or note questions regarding its means. Pursuant to Section 63 of the Sheriff and Civil Processes Act, the outcome of the invitation are: 1, the judgment debtor may be committed to prison for failure to settle the debt when it is on record that he has refused to pay the monetary value. 2, the court may give an order attaching his property for sale. 3, the court may give an order for payment in installments. And 4, the court may give an order for the discharge of judgment debtor from prison.
Judicial correspondents play an important role in the reporting of judicial activities and ongoing order. This dissemination of information carries with it patriotic responsibility of concise reportage, devoid of sentiment, noting that a strong judiciary and free press are crucial to the continued sustenance of our democracy. The laborious work you do in reporting the daily activities in the judiciary, especially court proceedings, and breaking the news on landmark and important judgments, have kept the Nigerian public fully abreast of the activities of our courts at all levels. Let me say a word or two before dealing with these local government issues. I want to appeal to my friends, and I know that you don't participate in unnecessary sensationalism. Social media reports ought to be verified. I know you will not go to print. you will not go to any television house or report anything that you cannot affirm. Please let us always check and cross-check our facts. Because some people, especially in the rural areas, they don't come to the city. It is what comes from the press that they rely upon.